Hello and welcome to this year's 2021's Global Maths and Science lesson. This year it's all about learning maths through games. And the games that we're playing are on fractions. That could be a bit scary, but actually it's playing games with fractions and it's how to make friends with fractions, so that works. Now, what you have to do is you have to register with this link here. Now, today is the day, so that link might then lead you on to something else, but it's okay even if you register late. Just submit your numbers and send us proof that you've done it, and we'll still send you the certificate of participation. Now, what you want to do is go when you sign in on that on that website, we'll send you a link, and on that link is the page with the information for the lesson. That makes sense, doesn't it? So, and when you do the lesson, what you're going to be doing is things like this. You're going to be doing a sorting game. It's kind of like the sorting hat, only you're using strips of paper instead. And what you're doing is you're sorting them in order. Now, it's not very complicated. All you have to do is sort them so that effectively the wider gaps go above the narrower gaps, and they get narrower and narrower and narrower till they get at the bottom. You've got lots and lots and lots of divisions at the bottom, which you end up from 0 at the top, no divisions, or having just one, no divisions, just one strip. Let's see the one that's at the top. It basically means a 1. There you go. That's the one at the top. Can you see? There's no lines coming down on that. That represents the unit, the 1. And at the bottom you have 12ths, which means it's divided into 12 sections. So the first thing you do is that. Now you can do it as a game, you can do it as a competition, so you can do it fastest. And then there's a few questions about it, which you can work out, and depending on how old you are. And then once you've done that and you've had a bit of fun with that, then the next game to play involves this fraction wall. And, oh, let me get rid of this bit at the back so that you can actually see. It's not, there we go. It's a fraction wall and 2 dice. Maybe you can use smaller dice than this, or you might even use, again, this is on the page when you go to the link that we'll send you. You can use a spinner, which you just use. You can use a pen like this. You put a paper clip and a pen if you don't have a dice. If you have a dice, great. If you don't, paper clip and pen, and then you spin it round to get the numbers that you want. Now, when you do that, the idea is I'm going to use 2 dice. Let's see, we've rolled them. And oh my goodness, that's a good start. We're going to start with a different example than that. We're going to start with this example. Let's see, you rolled them. You get these 2 numbers. You put the smallest number on top and the larger number underneath. And then you find the place on the fraction wall that matches it. So this is, the 1 is on top, it's a fraction. So the 1 at the bottom is how many divisions there are, or how many blocks there are on the line. Well, this one, which is the one that has 2? It's not the top one, that's just 1. Next one down, that's got 2. And the top number is a 1. That's not a 1, is a 1, which means that you go along to the 1. And there's only one line, the first line, and there's only one, so that you might recognize that as halfway along. So you play this game with 2 people or 2 teams, or you can play it as lots of everybody playing on their own, and everybody throws their own dice, and the person that has the highest value, the fraction that is the biggest number, would be the winner. And if there's lots of people that have the same fraction, then there'll be a few people that are the winner, and everyone that wins gets a point. So I'm going to roll it again, and this time we have, ooh, that's a bit more complicated. We have 3/5. So again, if we don't know exactly what 3/5 are, what we do is we take the bottom one, the smaller number, we say which of these lines has 5? Has 5 divisions. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And where are we going with it? We've got 4, so we're going to count along 4. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one got up to here. So if this is 0 and that's 1, the first one got to here, which is half, which is also could be called 0.5. And the second one got all the way up to here. So it went all the way from 0 way up to here, which means this number is closer to 1. So it's larger than that number. So 4/5 is bigger than 1/2. Now, another thing that might have happened is that you might have had this result, 2/4, 2 divided by 4, 2/4. So let's see which one would we go take there. We'd go the line with 4 divisions. That's 4. And then we got the number 2. So we count along. We go 1, 2. Look at that. It's the same as a half. And actually, look, it's the same as 3/6. So if we'd had a 6 and a 3, we'd have used this line, and then we'd have gone 1, 2, 3. And actually, it's the same as a half. It's the same as 2/4, which is the same as 3/6. They're called equivalent fractions. And that's part of the adventure of the game, is discovering these things. And if you already know these things, then playing the game, just play it for fun. And you know what? You'll get better at it. You'll get more fluent. It'll come to you more easily. And it's a fun game. So those are the 2 main games of the global maths and science lesson. Play those and enjoy. If you know someone that's a lot smaller, you can play with food. Well, okay, not necessarily play with food. Well, but you can learn fractions through food. Through food. You can talk about fair shares, equal shares. So you and the younger person have the same amount, maybe split it in 2 or even in 3, that everybody's got equal amounts, that sort of thing. You can play with that. You can play with blocks. You can play with chocolate. You can divide up chocolate equally. So you can talk about, if it's young learners, then you can just talk about half, have it the same each. And if you're older and you want to just play with chocolate, you can come up with all kinds of ideas of fractions. Like, what if you have 4 pieces of chocolate? How many people? Each person has 4. How many people would you be able to give 4 pieces of chocolate to, and figure out what fraction that is? There's some really good questions on this on the fraction game on the same website as the lesson is on. And then another thing is that if you want to do something, I think, well, that's kind of young for me. I promise you'll enjoy the game. But if you want to learn a little bit more, you can play the same game, but using algebra. So it's exactly the same thing. You throw the dice twice, but this time you throw them in sequence. So the first one comes up with 5, and what you do is you're on level 5. If you got the dice that says number 5, you're on level 5. And then the next one came up with a 2, and what you do is you substitute the number 2 for the x. So 8x plus 7, that's 2 times 8, that's 16, plus 7 is 23. So it would be 3/23. Oh my goodness. Did you think this game was for babies? Where is 2/23 on this? Well, there isn't it's not divided into 23rds. So you're going to have to, even with a calculator, you're still going to have to work out where it is on the board. So it's probably better to just do a bit of rounding. So you've really got to think about this. And then if you got 3/23, and someone else got 1/6. Which is more? 3/23, which is a larger number, 3/23 or 1/6, or even worse, 1/7, which is more? And you can work it out. You can work it out by estimating, by rounding, and doing all those lovely things, and play the game and see who's won. And then you can double check on each other to see if they're right. Now, this is one of my favorites. What if you got that? So you're on level 1 and you've thrown a 1. So you're going to substitute the X for 1. So where would you be on the chart if you'd thrown 1, 1? You're on level 1, you've substituted for 1. That works out to 1, which means you have the maximum number 1. So you would, well, you certainly nobody could beat you. You might get some other people time, but you definitely get a point. So there's lots and lots and lots to do there. And that is the Global Maths and Science lesson for 2021. Please enjoy it. And there's loads and loads and loads of other activities that will really help you learn fractions through play. So if you either want to get better at fractions, or you perhaps think, oh, I'm not very good at fractions, I really need to learn fractions, I need to understand fractions, then play the games on the website. There's on the page, that the link we send you, there's like a list about this long of lots of activities and games to play, to do with fractions, but also to do with, there are thousands and thousands of learners around the world playing the game, playing the lesson, doing the 30-minute lesson today. And there's some of the activities talk about where in the world they are, what the time is, how far away people are from each other, to give you a nice feel for all the other learners that are playing the lesson today. Please do join us. Please do sign up. I'm going to put the screen back on again now. So I've got my lovely screen in the background. And join us for this year, and indeed join us for next year. Oh, we've got some comments. Let's see what the comments say. Oh, I've got hearts, and I've got more hearts, and excellent material. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Tony Bearden. Tony Bearden from AIMSEC writes the material. So excelente material. I'm guessing this person is in Spain, perhaps, or South America. So, or in North America, Spanish speaking, maybe, I don't know. So thank you for joining, and please do sign up. We're going to do a live at 7. That's in 1 hour and 3/4. That's 7 London time, where Yvette, my colleague, and we're going to play the games. So if you want to join us in playing the games, then register. That will send you. Oh, Mexican. Hola, mexicano o mexicana, no sé cuál. Es mucho gusto en conocerte. Yay! Viva Mexico! We've got someone from Mexico on the group. It's fun watching. That's fantastic. So si queréis un live ahí en México, me pasas un mensaje y hacemos uno luego. Nice to meet you. We can do one in Spanish if you want later on. Send me a message. Send me a PM on Facebook, and I will respond to it. Lovely to meet you. Ah, Fundapromat, you're in Mexico and you're from Fundapromat. Well, see if Jeanette wants a live later to join in the Global Maths and Science lesson. I would be delighted. Just tell Jeanette to get in touch. Mucho gusto. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you in the next live. 1 hour and 45 minutes. We're playing the games, and maybe we might even do something for Panama or in Mexico. Bye.